Relax, the press box is closed, but the mic is just getting warmed up. Welcome to the Hockey Writers Inc. Join your host, Ron, as we talk all things Philadelphia Flyers and Lehigh Valley fandom. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next episode of the Hockey Writers Inc. with your very special guest host, Mr. Russ Cohen. How you doing, Russ?
Good, Ron. How are you?
I am doing fantabulous. There is hockey everywhere you look. Flyers are playing good. Phantoms are playing good. I mean, hey, it's McWorld, right?
Yeah, it's a nice time of the year.
It is nice time of the year, right? We got prospects playing in the challenge tonight and tomorrow. So hey, and then what? The World Juniors is going to be starting up here in
Coming around the
December.
corner. Yep.
So I mean, look, everywhere you turn, there's great hockey, and we're going to focus in here on the Philadelphia Flyers and the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. Thank you all, folks out there. Really appreciate that. Please hit the like and subscribe if you like what we do, which, by the way, you do like what we do, getting us ranked in the top 15 of all Philadelphia Flyers podcasts. That's right, folks. Up there with the big boys. The pokey little Hockey Writers Inc. is rubbing elbows with the big guns. That's right.
It's good.
Here we go. So, episode number 213. Flyers take 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and the Phantoms are still in third. And let's start off with I guess, the elephant in the room here, maybe, or maybe not. But something that you and I talked about, Russ, in previous shows, and that's Jett being traded
Mm-hmm.
from the Gulf Storm. And was the writing on the wall for that?
Yeah. Yeah, the writing was on the wall, especially when Guelph was getting the Mem Cup next year because he's not going to be there. So the fact that he's not going to be there means they might as well get assets for him this year. It's a shame for Jett, though, because, there's no guarantee with Brantford that he's going to get to the Memorial Cup this year, even though they're really good.
Good, yeah.
And next year there would be a guarantee, and that's great experience. But, it's just timing sometimes.
It is, but I think that's something that we talked about
Mm-hmm.
because him playing on a better team is kind of a better thing for him, though.
It is, but again, a team with more competition. So, like Jake O'Brien's the number one center, so he'll be
Right,
the number two.
right. Which maybe is a good thing.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, because we don't necessarily see him as a number one,
No,
do we? Right?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't either. Right. And so him slotting in there at 2C and then being that solid 2C,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? I think that's going to be really helpful for him to help him build his game because that's going to give him the opportunity to do like what we said that he should be doing, playing in all situations, playing on the power play, playing, penalty kill, 4-on-4, you know what I mean? Those kinds of
Yep,
things. So, all right. Um, that's pretty good stuff though, I think. It's good for Jett, I think.
it is. It's really good.
And then in the long term, that's going to be good for Flyers, right? I mean,
There's no negative to it.
right. See, there you go. All right. So, with that said, let's kind of pivot here a little bit because I just wanted to kind of cover that little bit of quote unquote breaking news, even though it's been
Hmm.
out there for the last couple
Yeah,
of
it's been out
days.
there for a little bit.
Yeah. But I wanted to get your take on it, Russ, and hear kind of what your thoughts on it because
Sure.
I knew it was something that we had talked about in previous shows about him
Yes.
possibly being traded to a better team, and and in fact it's happened. So
Yep.
there you go. Once again, the great Russ was correct.
I think anybody could have seen that one.
But yeah, hey man, I'm trying to give you some
I
props here.
appreciate it, but I'm
All
just,
right, all right, good deal, good deal. Okay, so Flyers been playing a lot of games at home, and now take the act on the road. Okay, and they played 3 games since we've last had our show last for the Hockey Writers Inc. I think we played 3 games.
right.
And in those 3 games, they're 2-1, with one of them being in overtime.
Hmm.
And Philadelphia is what? One of the leading teams now in overtime victories,
Right.
right? And so that at one point used to be a bad stat for them because they were never, well, if they ever got to
Hmm.
overtime, it was always like, all right, well, the Flyers got to overtime. You're pretty much banking on the loss because, well, for one, they weren't going to play well in overtime. And then for two, if they got to the shootout, it was never good in the shootout.
No, that's fair.
Now they got goaltending now to where it is good in the shootout now, where
Depends which
Philadelphia's
goaltender. Like Erson's actually
okay.
better in the shootout. Like
I
that's a
yeah.
thing.
Right. So, but that's the thing though. You know what I mean? Okay.
Yes.
So, what do you think about now? Aside from the 2 games that the Flyers won, I just want to kind of focus a little bit here on the game that they lost,
Hmm.
just because that was the most recent, and there was some change to the lineups, and for that game as well too, where we didn't think we were going to see it, but the Cates line got busted up.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a good move? Do you
Nope.
think
It should go back together.
okay, that I wanted to just see what your thoughts were on that.
Hmm.
Because I agree. I think that was one of their best lines, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right. Fix other things around it, but that was work. It was working.
Right.
Excuse me. I understand. Like, there's always time where, look, the Flyers don't score enough. So you figure, let's break up some of that line. We could spread the wealth. It doesn't always work that way. Sometimes chemistry is chemistry, and you're better off having chemistry. Like, Tampa's one really good line because they have injuries was better than the whole Flyers team. So sometimes you're just better off keeping that line together than spreading the wealth.
Agreed. I mean, let me ask you this question then, or pose this to you. Would you, and I think you've already answered it, but would you much rather have that one line that's completely, utterly dangerous to where you have to have your head on a swivel when they jump across the boards, or would you have those guys all split up to where, either you got one guy on each line that maybe might be a factor. You know what I mean? Would you much rather have
Yeah.
that solid one line or would you much rather have it spread out? I mean, how do you look at it?
You always have to have a top line. Do you
Okay.
want a top line if, like, you could have a super line like Edmonton when they put Draisaitl up with McDavid, which isn't often, but it's not necessarily the best thing for a team. For this team, because they don't score enough and they have trouble with some of the other lines just breaking through in games, that I
Yeah.
do think they need to. I think it's really on a team by team basis.
Okay. And with the Flyers, their number one line was the Cates line, and I think that line
Yeah,
should be remarried and
it
put
should.
back together for their next upcoming games at least
But they
anyway.
also have to do something more for Matvei Michkov. Like, again, he was under 14 minutes. Uh, like, if you're down in a game, he's not good to put in a game and try and mount a comeback. Like, even Torts would do that. So there's some issues with his usage. I don't think Sean Couturier is the right guy for him. Now, occasionally he'll spring him and he'll get like a breakaway. Great. But Couturier is not that guy anymore. And so, like,
No.
on a game by game basis, he's not necessarily the best guy to have with him.
Okay, so now, well, let's throw you into the coach's chair then, Russ. Who would you put with Mitchkov?
I would like to get Brad Lambert in a trade and put him with Michkov and let them grow together. That's what I would do.
Okay, but I mean, as a coach,
No,
that's
no, but
as a
that's what
GM.
as a coach, I'm going to the GM and say, get me Brad Lambert, who's very creative, young, and fast, and that's who I want to put with Matvei Michkov.
So there's nobody on the roster right now.
No, I
You would
didn't
really
say that. I'm just saying,
okay, okay.
compared to who was on the roster, I would prefer to do that. Otherwise, yeah, right now maybe Christian Dvorak is the best guy, because he has been able to at least do fairly well on almost every line.
For the most part, I agree.
Yeah.
All right, who else would you put with him then?
It's not Tippett because Tippett doesn't seem like a match with them. And we know it can't be Forster now. So I don't know. That's a good question. I don't have the immediate answer for that
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
Um, I mean,
Other than Lambert,
yeah,
but
no,
like if you can't, you're not going to get him right this second. You
I
know what I
mean,
mean?
ultimately, if I'm putting Dvorak on that line, then I might as well just go with Zegras because Zegras really is in the center. They could, you know, play this game for the rest of the year and say he's a hybrid, but he's not a center. So might as well put Zegras and let it go Zegras, Dvorak, and Michkov.
I was kind of hoping you were going to go there, Russ. I
Well, I
really
did.
was. Yeah, I know. I was kind of
But that's
hoping
not my
you.
optimum thing. My optimum thing is to go trade for Brad Lambert
I know. I get you.
and do that.
Okay, who would you trade?
Well, first I would offer him Tippett. They might not accept that. I hear through Jackie Spiegel, who we had on Lockdown Flyers, no, on Off the Post, that they're looking for a defenseman. If they're looking for a defenseman, might have to be Jamie Drysdale. But I'll make that trade because they need a center and they need one that can sort of develop with this player
Yeah.
who really has not had a great year.
No, no, he hasn't.
And you don't want him to take a step back this whole year. And
Right.
so that would be, to me, that's more important. And if they would take Drysdale, excuse me, if they took Drysdale, that'd be great. And if they want to pick, they'll give him a pick too.
Okay. Wow. There you go. Hmm. I was kind of hoping you would pick somebody already on the team, but oh well. So
Well,
much for
Jamie
that.
Drysdale's on the team. What are you talking about?
No, no, no. I mean, to play with Mitchkov.
Oh,
You,
yeah.
you,
I mean, you asked me my choice.
yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
is
Okay,
so, you know,
okay.
I'm playing coach and GM.
Yeah, right. There you go. Whew. I mean, the old Bill Parcells line,
Right.
right? If you're gonna let me play with the guys, you gotta let me buy some of the groceries. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I'm trying to look forward through this. I understand fans, like the way the team's playing for the most part, and they have points and they have better
Yeah,
goaltending,
yeah.
but I can't afford to let this player have step it back
Down
the
year.
whole year
Yeah, that's agreed.
because he's the future. You could look at Trevor Zegras as the best offensive player right now, and I'll tell you that I think Mitchkov could be better, but he's right now. It's not going to happen the way things are laid out, and that's why I think it needs to be changed.
Okay. And I agree with you 100% because I don't think it's gonna happen the way it's laid out either. And there's a lot of factors going on in here. Okay, there's the Mitchkov thing, the new coach thing, the new,
Hmm.
you know what I mean. There's a lot of different moving parts here, and this is going to be one of those things where I think it's going to be an all year issue. But I also think too that you need to get somebody in there with Mitchkov sooner rather than later and get this guy rolling
And the
because
reason I don't say Grabankin, because I know some fans wanted that in the preseason and such, because it's unrealistic because the coach won't even play him. So I can't
right,
even
right,
say that name because
right.
I don't even know how much he's going to get to play. He plays almost exclusively now on the fourth line with occasional moves up after the fourth line's dead because Hathaway and Delorier really don't do much in a game anymore. So, like, that part of it is kind of like, from a development standpoint, not great.
And I'm with you, man. What is Delorier still doing playing?
He's
Why does he
fighting.
have? Okay, but
You saw the fight, right? You were
yeah,
watching.
okay, but it didn't do anything.
No, well, but that's the thing. So
3-0. I
if
mean, what?
Delorier is not in the lineup, that guy either doesn't play or he doesn't fight, right? Um, for Tampa. But the point is, he Delorier is on the roster. Rick Tocchet still likes the fighting aspect. I think a team gets about a 10 to 15% occasional boost when it happens, but most time you don't, and it didn't in that game. And yeah, then when you play another 6 minutes in that game, you don't get much. And Garnet Hathaway, the reason they still keep him in there is because now he's on the penalty kill. So the coach could tell you, listen, he's on the penalty kill. So like I can't take him out. And like that's the way the coaches build it in sometimes.
There you go. And that's, like I said, there's a lot of moving parts here, and it has a lot to do with coaching staff and, the availability and ability of current players on the roster.
Mhm. So, but they need to score more. Like they're giving
Okay,
up fewer
yeah.
goals. That's good. The goaltending's
Right,
better for
right.
sure. Um, and while I like Dan Vladar and always have, he's on pace to play 53 games. Last year he played 30. That was the most he's ever played.
Wow.
So like, he's 28, so people will be like, "Well, hey Russ, he's 28." Yeah, but he's not used to this. He's been in the league like 4 years, 5 years,
Right,
and he's never
eh,
played more than really like an average of 25 games. He played 30 last year, and
right.
now you're asking him to play 53.
Is he slated to play with any of the teams during the Olympics?
Yeah.
He is.
So he's playing then too. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So,
Oh yeah. So he's going to play like, 60 games in total this year.
ooh, man.
But that's the whole thing.
You
This is where you have to like at some point, and this is why the Flyers won't give up on Sam Ersson, but they still have Kolosov, who I think could get a chance at some point during the year. But this
I
is why
agree.
they don't give up on Ersson because they're trying to get Ersson to be able to play a requisite amount of games. They know he's not the number one anymore. They know he
Right.
can't,
Yeah,
but he
right.
still has to play because if he doesn't, you're going to tire out Fuldar.
You got him. You got to get him at least 30.
Yeah.
I
I
think you
mean, if
got to get
nothing
him at
else, if
least
you want to
30.
be objective, when the Flyers beat the Devils the other night and they scored that four in the first period, Jake Allen was dead tired.
Yes, he
And
was.
and a reporter told me coming in, and I didn't really click. He's like, "Well, I know Allen's a starter, and this is like his 12th game." And it's like, yeah, when does Jake Allen play 12 games this early in the season? Never. And they
And it
left him
showed.
in.
And
Oh
it
yeah.
showed. Yeah, and
And
it
it showed.
showed.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It showed. I mean, they even played the game the night before too, right? They were
Yeah.
on a back to back for that game too,
But not
right?
with him. I think Markstrom played in that other one.
Oh, he did. Okay.
I think. I'm
Okay.
trying to remember back. But at any rate, so that same thing could happen to Vladar just on a slower burn.
Yeah, right. Like, yeah, on a slope because he'll just get.
Like the numbers will keep creeping down. Like he
Yeah,
had this
that's
higher save percentage that existed, and he still has a very good one, but it's creeping down a little.
it is. It is. It really
And
is.
so
And
these are things you have to watch and manage. And honestly, it doesn't seem like Rick Tocchet has a good plan for that yet because, and Jackie told us this because she's in every press conference. I'm clearly not. That, hey, if he's winning, he's winning, and there is a little bit of that mentality. And it's like, okay, so the managing part of it is sort of secondary to winning right now.
yeah, because winning is,
Yeah.
when
So,
when you win. Okay. Well, I'm not a fan of it.
I can
I
go back and play revisionist history and um, talk about how Torts got every bit of juice out of the team that almost made the playoffs. But you could see that last week that they were playing that they were on fumes.
gassed.
They were
Yeah,
on
they were
fumes.
definitely gassed. Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
well, when
Because
you
there's only
have
so far you could push guys. There's a certain talent level. Sometimes you can push guys a little bit beyond that, but there's only so far you could push guys and get them
exactly.
to play over.
Yeah. And when you start off the year with a really hard training camp and a really intense training camp like Tortorella did,
Yeah.
you know, by the time you get to the end of the season, you're pretty much, out of gas,
Yeah. And we
you
have to
know.
remember, and I think the fans have to remember that, let's just say for argument's sake, Flyers are 4 points out before the Olympics. Maybe 3 players, 4 players make the Olympics. Maybe they don't, but maybe they do. They're all going to play there, and then they're going to come back and keep playing. And Travis Konecny had trouble with that in the Four Nations. Now, he may have played himself out of a job now. We don't know. But there's going to be some players, and your number one goalie is going to be the number one goalie over there. And so Yeah, I mean, these are things you have to look at and manage, plan for.
Exactly. Exactly. And I with having Vladar playing this many games, even though, okay, yeah, he's the hot hand, but if you're not going to give it to Erison, then bring in Alexei.
No, they're going to give it to him. They're just not going to give it to him as often. And that's what they're going to do. Like, that's clearly the plan right now. And then listen, that game against Tampa was fine. Harrison was fine. There was no
Yeah, I'm not
he
blaming that
didn't
game
cost
on
them.
him.
No, he didn't
No.
cost them that game. He's not having a great year, but that game was solid. It's
Right.
fine.
Agreed.
But still, yeah. No, they're gonna keep playing him. Even though he's not winning games. He's
Yeah,
not.
right. Yeah. Well, that's what my opinion would be. I would send him. I would switch.
Yeah.
I would switch
They might do it
Erison.
at some point, but they're trying to probably give Kolosov as many starts as they can.
I,
Because once
I
he makes the switch,
yeah,
his starts go down
yeah, because then he
as a
has to
young
play
goalie.
because then Vladar is going to continue to play. But see,
Right.
the whole thing of bringing Alexei up would be to have him play a few more games to give Vladar more of a break. Do you know what I mean?
Right. But
Because
you
we're
have to
in.
convince the coach of that.
Well, yeah,
And that's going
and
to take
yeah,
some convincing.
yeah, no, or a couple of, anyway. So, but that's probably not going to happen from me anyway. So,
Yeah.
okay, Phantoms are still kicking it in third with 24 points. There are 3 points ahead of the Bears, which are
Hmm.
at 21 points. Playing really well. Got a game coming up here this Friday for the Phantoms. Denver Barkey is leading the Phantoms in goals with 7 and 6 assists. He's got 13 points so far. I mean,
Yeah, he's picked it up. He's doing well. He and Bump have some chemistry. Uh, they both still have things they have to work on. Neither should
yeah,
be called up or anything like that. But
right.
it's good. It's good to see it. Uh, he is going to have to be a high impact player to be able to find a spot in the NHL because he's, basically a point guy. Like that's what you're looking at, and that's what he's doing. So yeah, from that perspective, it's good. Alex Bump's doing well, but I think some people might be overblowing it. Again,
Agreed.
I looked at Instat, and he's still averaging less than a hit a game and less than a hit against, and probably needs to play a bit more physical to be able to really kind of play that game at the next level. So I
Yep.
don't think he's quite there yet. He's not quite there defensively. The points are there, which is good, and
Yeah.
he's moving up the rookie scoring list, and that's good. All those things are good, but I still would play him the full year, no matter
Yes.
what in the
Yeah.
AHL, and I
Yep.
wouldn't think even twice about it. Same with
Nope.
Barkey.
Yep.
I would not call these guys up no matter what.
Nope. Nope. I
Would
agree
not do it.
100%. I agree 100%. And I think it's better for the Phantoms
It
if
is.
they're there because
And the
with
Phantoms might get Gurbenkin soon too. Who knows?
okay, and the uh the the pickup that they got, Christian
Carl
Kai
Grunstrom.
Christian Cairo.
Oh, Cairo. Yeah, Cairo's good. I
He's
don't
been
know if he's an NHL type, but he's really good in the AHL. So he's, right hand shot defenseman who could skate. Jordan's brother definitely could score at the AHL level.
right, but
I
I'm
don't
liking him for
know.
the Phantoms.
Yes, for the Phantoms, he's excellent, and that
Right,
was a good pickup. No
right,
question about it.
right. That's all I'm concerned about right
Yep,
now.
yep, yep,
Do
yep.
I ever think he's going to make it to the Flyers? I don't know. I it depends
He
because
would probably
there's
have to play the Andre role. There's probably no other role for him.
right, and there's quite a few guys ahead of him already. So I mean,
Yeah.
he's in the line. So, but I'm liking that pickup
Hmm.
for the Phantoms because I think that's really, I think that was one of those pieces that they just kind of needed to have, Russ, for the team that just kind of help them kind of get over the hump. You
Yeah,
know what I
I
mean?
think they've added. I mean, they lost some good players too. Look, Gleason's pretty good. You go watch him play on other teams.
Right,
He's doing well. It's not like and Tanner Lazinski is leading his team, the
right.
Henderson Silver Knights, in scoring. So
Right. And
you know,
Belpedio went to Hershey and
yes. So it's a
right?
matter of taste, and But I like the coach. I like Coach Snowden. He's doing a good job. That's all fine. The thing is, though, this team is still not good on the penalty kill.
No.
They have to get better.
Yep.
Um, you can't always rely on coming from behind.
Yep.
And that is something where you have to learn how to play ahead. And so
Yeah.
we'll see how that sort of matures in this season.
Yeah. Because you can't chase the game. If you
No.
chase the game too much, you're gonna end up chasing it out of existence because you're not going to be able to keep up. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, no
yeah, man.
question. And then that last loss, yeah, not great. So while the record's still good and where they are is good, they do have a few worries too. They do.
Yeah, and
But guys are developing better, and that's what you want.
see, that's what I was going to get to. The fact that they're under Snowden, and they are developing better, and they're able to be in games a little bit more than what they have been, and be more competitive with some of the higher end teams, and be able to play with a lead. I mean, that's what they need to do. You know what I mean? Play with a lead instead of trying to
Yes. Yeah,
always having
play
to
from
come from
ahead,
behind.
not from
Right,
behind.
right.
That's something that I'm sure the coach talks to them about it, and
Mhm.
that's something they just have to figure out. But
Yep.
right now, yeah, are they better than last year? Absolutely.
Yeah. No, I agree. I absolutely think they're better than last year too. Your co-host is
My
flying around
co-host
here.
is creeping up here.
You know.
Yeah,
It's all good. She's a good kitty.
yeah, she's good.
Yep. So, but with all that being said, I think we got some tough games ahead here for the Flyers. Couple
Hmm.
of tough games coming up here for
Yeah,
the
Florida
Phantoms.
is no picnic, and they play great 5-on-5. They're missing some good players, no question, but their defense is still really good.
Yep.
Uh, and 5-on-5, they shoot a lot, they score a lot. Well, they don't shoot a lot, they score a lot.
Score a
They have a
lot.
high scoring percentage and a high danger percentage, and they don't give up a lot of goals because of Bob and the tandem they have, and they don't give up a lot of high danger chances because of the defense they have. So like with Tampa, their best players were the best players. You know, the Hagels, the Kucherovs, those guys. The same thing is going to happen with Florida. It's going to be Lundell, and it's going to be they're going to have their best players.
Yeah. Hmm.
So the Flyers' best players have to really step up.
I
Last
agree.
game they had some good scoring chances, but they didn't step up. In this one, they're going to have to do that. Sam Bennett's not going to sit around and not try and take your head off on every shift. Like there's things to
Yeah.
worry about in this one.
And but well, there's one thing that I have to say though. It does seem like Philadelphia has played Florida well
This is
historically.
different now though, because now without Kachuk, without Barkov, they're really different.
Right. So it's
So I think
slightly
now
different.
it's even different from the start of the year.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay.
Like, you know what
Because
I mean? Like it's a different kind of feel now.
they did. Yeah. The Florida is. Yeah. 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 I'm with you.
Because I know when I talk to people, they were thinking, "Oh yeah, Flyers could beat Tampa," and I'm like, "Tampa's better than you think," because they've sort of like had to figure this out. And the one thing that Tampa and Florida have in common is they have great coaches. They've won Stanley Cups for a reason.
Uh huh.
So
And
this
they
is
and
something
they
you have
have
to
a
go up
lot of
against.
and they have a lot of those pieces still on the team that won those Stanley Cups
Yeah.
that are still, top tier all star type players
But
that,
remember, there's still like again, we always talk about like scouting, development, all these things. Uh, Tampa was smart enough. They traded for Hagel. Look at him. He's like one of the best players in the league now.
right.
Florida drafted Samoskevich. He played great with Michigan. Now he's up with them. He's good.
Yep.
He got a ring last year. He didn't play in the Stanley Cup. I interviewed him on the ice after the Stanley Cup victory, but he, played on the team that year. Now he was a black ace. You get that experience, and now he's scoring for them.
Yep.
And so, like people could just talk about Florida, like, hey, they got all these players and trades or whatever. But yeah, they still draft and develop too. They may not
Hello.
have as many picks because they trade them and things happen because that's how you win cups. But they're getting
Yeah. They've
really,
got good
they
prospects.
yeah, they have a great GM in Bill Zito. They picked up Seth Jones.
Yeah.
He helped them win a cup, but now they have Seth Jones. Like
Yeah.
Everybody was kind of killing them in Chicago. Nobody's killing them now.
No,
So
no,
this
no.
team is not as good as it was on the Cup run, but when they get their guys back, they will be. But for right now, for this game, this is a tough game because Florida's weird. They've had a couple of 8 goal outbursts,
Yeah, yeah.
and the Flyers have not had an 8 goal game.
No. Ooh,
So
ooh.
like they're capable of doing it.
Yeah. Mm.
So it's a little dangerous.
It is. It is. And that's not boding well.
No, I mean
Especially,
it's a reality
yeah.
check.
Yeah, it is.
And
Right?
the first part of the Florida reality check trip was not great. And then we'll see how the second part goes. And then, eventually they'll head to New Jersey. Uh, and they got the best of New Jersey in that game, and then we'll see what they do next time. But things are progressing. There's a lot of games being played in a short amount of time because of the Olympics.
Yep.
And now they had a lot of home games, and now they're starting to make up the road games. And
Exactly.
that's where the schedule could, level off a bit.
And where the rubber's going to meet the road, I think, for
Yeah.
this team because they've had a lot of home cooking as of
Yes.
late, and they've done really well. I mean, they're one of the best teams in the NHL at home right now. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And so now you need to be able to carry that through with some of these road games. You know what I mean? So
Against good veteran teams. Yeah.
and that to me, I think, is going to be the biggest test for the Flyers is these road trips, especially in
Yeah.
the condensed part of this season. And how are they going to fare? How are they going to be able to take it? Are they going to be able to limit ice times and still continue to roll four lines with each of these games and things of that nature? Because you need to be able to do that, especially with this condensed schedule. You
Yeah.
need to limit these guys on their ice time so you can roll four lines, so you can have guys for 2, 3 days down the road. You know what I mean? So
Right. No, it's all a big puzzle.
it is a big giant puzzle. Well, Russ, man, I think we got a really good one here, sir.
All right.
Thank you very much for hopping on here and sharing some of your great insight and wisdom. Thank you, sir, very much. Appreciate
Appreciate it,
it.
Ron.
Yeah. All right. All you have to do, by the way, folks, is go to Google and type in Russ Cohen, and you'll see a plethora, myriad of places where you can find this gentleman. Russ, can you give us a couple of spots where we can find you?
Yeah, sure. Sportsology.com, NHLDraftBuzz.com, uh, Elite Prospect, Hockey Hot Stove. We could also listen to Off the Post and Locked on Flyers.
There you go, man. All those great pluses. Also, don't forget the Sirius XM radio show that he does.
I'm
And
on with Mick Curran every Tuesday, 12:15 ish, 12:20, and did my
there you
spot today.
go. See, there you go. And don't forget, hop on over to Amazon and check out all the books. By the way, 11 of them that Mr. Russ Cohen has written. You got
Working
to
on a
check them
12th.
out. And we're working on a 12. So, woo, boy, that's exciting news. Thank you very much for that. So, all right.
Nothing on Aaron Rodgers. Sorry.
Thank God.
Couldn't resist.
Oh, but hey, maybe it's Rudolph the red-nosed quarterback.
Seems that way.
No, really. I look,
I mean, for now, anyhow,
brother, whatever. That's for another time and another show.
it is.
Thank you all for tuning in and checking out the Hockey Writers Inc. Please hop on over to lowercaseblues.net and check out Jake and the boys, all the great swag they have over there. They got some tour dates. If you are in the Delmarva area on the East Coast, you got to hop on over to lowercaseblues.net. Check out some of their tour dates, especially during the holidays. Got to get these guys going on, man, because they got some great music. Thank you very much to Jake and the boys for the opening music here to the Hockey Writers Inc. show. That's lowercaseblues.net. Check them guys out. Thank you, Russ, for all you do here. I am Ron Mont, your co-host, and you can find me on X at RNJ_media. You can also find the show at HCKY Writers Inc. on X. We will catch you all on the next Hockey Writers Inc.